Hey everyone, let's travel back in time to ancient China, a land with a super cool history and culture. For thousands of years, dynasties, like ruling families, shaped China. These early dynasties are kind of mysterious, like something out of a myth, but they're also real history. They started everything that makes China what it is today. Around the Yellow River, powerful rulers, new inventions and big ideas popped up, and we still see their impact now. In this video, we're going to explore three ancient dynasties, the Xia, the Shang and the Zhou. We'll see how they began, what they achieved, and what they left behind. These dynasties, even though they were separated by time, are all connected, each one built on what the one before it did. We'll see how Chinese rulers thought about power, how society changed, and how art and technology grew. It's like a journey through ancient China where people were figuring out how to govern, what they believed, and what it meant to be human. The Xia dynasty is like a puzzle wrapped in a mystery. It's considered the very first dynasty in Chinese history books, but we don't have a lot of physical proof that it existed. It's more like something from a story, passed down through generations. There's a famous story about Yu the Great, who was supposed to be the first Xia ruler. He was a hero because he figured out how to control floods, which made him a super important person. Even though we haven't dug up a lot of stuff to prove the Xia existed, it's still a big deal in Chinese culture. Historians are still trying to figure things out, and some think that new discoveries might point to the Xia's influence. Maybe the Xia wasn't a powerful empire, but more like a bunch of groups working together. Either way, the Xia is important because it's the beginning of the Chinese story, a time of heroes and myths that still matter today. The Shang dynasty comes after the Xia, around 1600 to 1046 BCE. This is where we start to find real stuff underground, like fancy bronze cups, beautiful jade statues, and something super important, oracle bones. These bones have the oldest writing we've found in China. The Shang dynasty was all about cool new inventions and art. Their capital city, Anyang, had big palaces and tombs that show how powerful and advanced they were. The Shang king was like a president and a priest all in one. He was in charge of everything. Bronze was super important to the Shang. They used it to make weapons and also for special ceremonies. Chariots and bronze weapons made their armies strong, and fancy bronze cups showed who was important. They also used oracle bones to talk to the spirits. They'd heat the bones and look at the cracks to figure out what the spirits wanted. The Shang dynasty's inventions in metalworking, writing, and religion helped Chinese civilization grow even more. The Zhou dynasty lasted the longest of any Chinese dynasty, from around 1046 to 256 BCE. They introduced a really important idea called the Mandate of Heaven. This meant that rulers were chosen by heaven, a kind of powerful force. If a ruler was good and fair, heaven would let them stay in power. But if they were bad, heaven would take its blessing away and someone else could take over. The early Zhou dynasty was peaceful and successful. The Zhou kings learned from the Shang and gave land to loyal supporters in return for help with the army and taxes. But this system made the kings weaker over time, and things got messy during the Eastern Zhou period, 771 256 BCE. Even though there was a lot of fighting, the Eastern Zhou period was a time of new ideas. It's called the 100 Schools of Thought, and this is when philosophies like Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism were born. These philosophies offer different ways of thinking about how society should work and how people should live. The Xia, Shang and Zhou dynasties are gone, but they're not forgotten. They shaped Chinese civilization in huge ways. From the story of Yu the Great stopping the floods to the wise words of Confucius, these dynasties started Chinese culture, government and society as we know it. The Xia, whether real or just a story, gave everyone a shared history. The Shang, with their bronze, writing and religion, showed how to run a powerful country. The Zhou, with the Mandate of Heaven, explained how rulers should act. The 100 Schools of Thought during the Eastern Zhou period gave us ideas that are still important in China today. Even though the Zhou dynasty ended and the Warring States period started, followed by the Qin dynasty, the Xia, Shang and Zhou are still part of Chinese history and culture.